Long time no see, everyone. This is going to be a short video, and I figured better to give you something to look at. I'll have a future video coming out on this aquarium, but this is, for reference, a 40-gallon breeder, and you can see some of the latest fish fry swimming around in here, growing out. But what I want to draw your attention to for the purpose of this video is the heater in the back. So you can see that that is a brand name Hygger. That's a 300 watt double relay quartz glass heater, and this will be the first review that I'm doing for the channel. Full disclosure, Hygger sent this to me for free, and there will be affiliate links in the description if you're interested in buying either this version or one of the other varieties. Like I said, this is a 300 watt, but they come in all the way up to 1200 watt varieties. So I would say this is better suited for the 40 gallon and up, maybe cutting off around 75 gallons. I think that's probably where you're going to get the best efficiency out of this heater. They do make versions for larger aquariums. Some of the features I would say that drew my eye to this heater would be the external adjustable controller, and later on in the video I'll do a quick cut so that you can see what that looks like. But I really like that it's easily adjustable without getting your hands wet. So far I've had it running in this aquarium. It's grown out with some crypt that's melted away, and you can see it's just now growing back, so probably a few weeks, and so far it has been dead on accurate. I haven't been down here where it's more than 1 degree in variation. And for reference, I do keep my fish room in a basement, so the temperature down here is usually pretty cool. I would say if I'm lucky in the winter like it is now, I can keep it around 70 degrees in here. It's usually colder though, so that says a lot, I think. It's got a built-in thermometer with intelligent cutoff and memory functions, so I like that because I mean, you can see right here where, and I'll do this typically with my heaters, where I install them low and horizontal, so that when water changes come, I'm not worried about running it dry. But this heater does come with an auto shut-off for dry alarm, and it also comes with an auto shut-off for high temp, and it has an alarm for low temp. So if any of those things happen where it runs dry, runs too hot or too cold, there's an audible alarm that comes out of the controller to alert you. So, it's good for salt and freshwater. I only run it in freshwater, but the build quality and overall design seem to be functioning well, and I haven't had a single lick of trouble with it. Now, I guess I'll start with price point. Right now on Amazon, I think you can buy these for just under $50 in this power range, and they'll go up the more expensive or the higher the wattage. And so this one's, I think, running around like $47 on Amazon. You'll probably get a little bit of a discount if you use the link in the description, to knock a few bucks off for you. But I think, in general, that puts this heater in a price point that is more expensive than average for its competition. Just looking around at other 300 watt heaters, you can buy them as cheap as 18 bucks, 20 bucks, and they come with a lot of the same modern day features. So I think when you're looking at buying a more expensive heater like this, you're buying it for things like build quality, longevity, accuracy, and just reliability in general. And so far, I've been impressed with that. This heater, I think, while it's more expensive, does come with a better finish look, and that's totally opinion based. But the controller on it has a nice look to it, and in general, it looks okay for a heater. So getting into some of the, I guess, nitpicks on it, things that I think are, less than ideal. That's kind of a good and a bad thing depending on what you're buying it for. But it's big. I think it comes in a little over 10 inches. And so it's also really wide for a heater in an aquarium. So as far as hiding it, you can see I'm thinking big picture long term here, where this Amazon sword is going to hopefully grow in and help me hide it. But even with this angle that I'm using right now, which limits the view of it, you can still see the bright orange outline. And I think that's just a Hygger design thing, but it's ugly for the purposes of having a planted tank. So with time, I've already got algae growing. That's a nitpick for sure, but it's a bigger than average heater, and it is brightly colored. I do think that you have to buy this heater for a purpose, and the biggest thing I would say is that it's not easily transferred from one tank to another. A lot of times in my fish room, I'll just need to drop a heater in for a minute, or for a little while for the purpose of one aquarium, and then need to move it on to the next or not use it for a long time. That is not the design of this heater. This heater is very much meant for, if you ask me, a display planted aquarium that's going to be set up long term, that you want this thing in there for a while. The design of it is that it's big, and so it's going to be hard to take it out of the aquarium. And then that other external adjustable controller, while I just talked about liking it, it also means that you got to find a place on the wall to install it. So all of a sudden now you're having to make other decisions based on where you install it. That makes it really tricky to get out and into a different aquarium. So again, this is not the drop-in heater that you just buy to throw in an aquarium on a whim. It's something that I would buy that's set up and purpose-driven. Some other nitpicky things, I would say the build quality, like I said, is really good, but the cord length is, to me, kind of small. I think it comes in, it's got that controller, so it gives you around 9, maybe a little bit more than 9 feet of cord all in all. But you want that controller set up somewhere close to the aquarium, and then the power cable running off of the cord, off of the controller, is only 6 feet long. And so for me, that was really limiting. I had to run an extension cord to get it to work, which is not abnormal, but that's just a nitpick, I would say. The other thing that I think design-wise to be wary of, and I have a quick shot at the end of this video that I'll throw in with it outside of the aquarium so you can see it, but the cool thing is that it comes in with like this built-in guard, so you can kind of see the quartz glass tubes in there. And a lot of times you're worried about fish getting burned. It comes with a plastic guard to help prevent that. But the holes in this particular one are big enough that some pretty smaller fish could get in there. Shrimps, snails, that kind of thing, loaches for sure. So in this particular aquarium with what I'm going to be housing, I'm not worried about that at all, but if I had a smaller setup with tetras or loaches, like I said, I might think twice about them getting in there and getting stuck. And again, Hygger does make a comparatively priced heater with a similar design that has an enclosed version. That just wasn't a version that was available to me. So I went with this one, and again, that's a nitpicky thing, but it's something that I would want to mention if I was going to have something with smaller fish that I was afraid could get in there and have trouble getting out. So I think that pretty much sums it up as far as details and pros and cons of this. I will say, looking at reviews online, some of the most frequent, I would say, negative reviews have to do with the alarms not working like they're supposed to with this heater. Some people say that they seem to go off for no reason. I haven't had that happen. And so far it's worked just like it's been meant to. And like I said, I've been running this for probably going on a month now in this aquarium without issue. So I think you're going to find the negative reviews like that on every single product, and I think that's also why it's really, really important to undersize the heater for your aquarium. And that way, when you do have a malfunction, on the off chance that happens, it's not so overpowered that it's going to cook your fish. So again, I didn't see anything with reviews that were like far and away negative for one reason or the other. And so overall, would I buy this heater again? Yeah, I'd consider it, especially like I said, if I was gonna do it for a long-term planted setup like this one, and I wasn't gonna house too small a fish. I think it's a fine heater. It's definitely not the cheapest, but it's definitely not the most expensive, and I think that's kind of where Hygger's made their name in the aquarium hobby so far, is just you know, making it affordable but still well built. So yeah, I think that's that. Let me cut to the controller real quick to give you a look at that. So just to give you a little bit of reference here, this is the aquarium we were looking at, and I've got the adjustable power controller on the wall here. So you can see where it clearly shows the set temperature of 75, the running temperature 74.7, current wattage is 0 because it's not running. And then when it does kick on, what's cool is this white line turns into a red line, so it's really, really easy to see when the heater is kicked on and running. So again, that's a good thing if you know that's what you're looking for in a heater, but definitely something to consider an extra installation step for sure. So I also just wanted to get a quick cut video of the heater outside of the aquarium so you can kind of get an idea for the size of the gaps that I'm talking about. I would say the suction cups on this thing leave a little bit to be desired. They do leave the heater a little bit wobbly in the aquarium, but again, that's a little bit of a nitpick and something I think you find in most models. So that's that. Okay, like I said, that's going to do it for this review video of the Hygger 300 watt heater. Make sure you check for the affiliate links in the description below if you're interested in picking up one for yourself. And you know, I would say after a hiatus due to some life things going on, I've got some more videos coming out, so if you've been following the channel for a little bit, then I'll have some videos coming in depth on Pea Puffers. I'll have some in-depth videos on this aquarium because I have this is my newest aquarium, and I have some big plans for this, and then I also will be installing an RO unit for the fish room as well. So lots going on, and thank you for watching.